Debbie, youth level 5.
Okay. We're talking about youth level 5, and just want to share a couple of facts. The idea was, and this wasn't my idea, but I totally agree with limiting the tumbling skills. This is along the same thing that we were just thinking. I think we, just as a side thought, I think we need to have a template that shows that many's youth can do certain skills, above can do different skills, and it grows as they get older. I totally agree with that. Not only because it just makes sense, but just listen to some of the physical facts. First of all, a child 12 and under, their growth plates are not fused yet. So all of the hard landings, the injuries that are happening to youth, young kids can harm them for the rest of their life. They are useless, and we don't have to do that. I only know of maybe 2 kids by the age of 10 that had a good double. One of them was mine, and she doesn't count. So I don't know that many kids that can double very well or should be doubling very well. Most of them are pikey because their bodies are not strong, which is the next thing happened. We have tons of mind blocks in this age group. This is the most common age group in which we have mind blocks, mainly because of the lack of going through the 3 stages of learning, which quickly, visual learning, that's the first stage. It's when you see it and you want it. Second one is associative stage, where you associate your body with doing a skill. And the third one is autonomous owning of a skill. And we don't do that. We don't let our kids stay long enough at a skill to own the skill. And owning it means you can teach it to somebody else. And believe me, 10-year-olds can teach it to somebody else if they want to. So we need, because this group has a lack of focusing ability just naturally. That's part of their growth. And so therefore we're giving them more mental block issues because we're trying to push them to limits they shouldn't be doing in the first place. A child under 11 with a double is a rarity, very real rarity. But not only that, a good full is also rare because of the physical nature of the kids of that age, such as their awkwardness because they're growing. They don't need to be doing on skills like this. They need to be strengthening their body. They don't even need to have a huge conditioning program at this level. I don't even have them do a whole lot of that because they're just not ready for it. Their bodies are not designed for that at that age. They need to concentrate more, I think, at these levels on stunting and basket basics, because they get to us at level 4 and 5 and junior and senior level, and they can't even do them right. You know how many people I have to sit and teach how to base, or even how to load into a stunt, because they didn't get taught at level 1 and 2 and 3 in the youth ages, and then they went to youth 5 just because they could tumble, but they certainly can't stack. So we need to let those skills gel. We need to strengthen their bodies, but we do not need to allow them to be doing double fulls. It needs to be safe for a more mature athlete.
Okay. My suggestion, and I want feedback from this, is to eliminate doubles from U5 completely, to eliminate standing tumbling to doubles in junior 5, only allowing running tumbling to doubles in junior 5, and then when you get to that senior age level, you are allowing everything. And the reason why I say that is because now we are again giving these kids something to work for. I want to go from U5 to junior 5 because now I can throw a double. I want to go from junior 5 to senior 5 because now I can get my 2 to a double, and then my specialty to a double, and work that way. And what's happening is, like Debbie said, as these kids are growing in that youth to junior age level, these kids, between periods and boobs and hips and growth spurt, I did. Their bodies are changing every day.
Okay.
And
tumbling, yes, I can see maybe limiting that, but that's not the scary thing with the youth 5s. It's really the kick double baskets, the double downs, the specialty kick double baskets that you have to do at youth 5 in order to max out. Like that stuff is where I think it's a little
that's why the whole thing
But I
needs to
think
be redone.
if we start limiting, like if we tell our youth kids you can't do doubles, then as a coach, if we have a youth kid that has a double, well, they're not going to be on the youth team, they're going to be on the junior team. So that 10-year-old that's still, but we're trying to limit what they're doing tumbling-wise, they're just going to your junior team. So we're not really doing anything. We're not.
Head coach our youth 5 team, and I would tell you that I can tell you how we're going to be in 5 years based on our youth 5 team. I've very rarely had a child not learn their double when they were 10 or 11. That's when our kids start to get that skill in the first place, or at least begin working on them. And and Debbie, I have so much admiration for everything that you say, and I know that you speak from so much more statistical analysis, but we've had youth 5 for 12 years, and I've watched those kids go from that. I disagree. And then outside of that, the liability factor set up for it, it's not okay for USASF for youth age athletes to do double fulls. Does that mean that no 10 or 11-year-old can be on a junior team doing a double full? And what happens when one of those kids gets hurt doing something that we said they couldn't do at their age, when they're that
That's
age?
what we're-
I think, speaking to, like I spoke to your youth coach on Stingrays, speaking to them, speaking to other
They're
people,
back in youth five.
they said to me, if we didn't have, we would go in that division with just fulls and layouts, and we would have a youth five. If you would take those doubles out, which is only 3 or 4 teams in the whole country that now are at youth five. I'm just looking at a dying division.
Why don't we have youth five?
Because the age changed and the
Right.
kids got younger,
Yes.
and now we're asking younger kids to do
That's
even
exactly
harder
what
stuff.
happened.
Oh, no, we had.
Or you have to have majority, so.
Right, I had someone write on a youth 5 score sheet on a large team, you must have majority doubles to get into the high range. On youth 5, and there's no small large, it's youth 5 up to 36 kids. So you tell me I need 18 doubles with 10-year-olds to get into a high range? That's ridiculous.
More than a double full that you need to learn how to do a high V. You need to learn how to dance. You need to learn how to jump. There are plenty of things to work on other than just a double full. So.